put a
I know.
notice for
I've
myself.
done that too.
I'm sorry. Thank you. So the way we're going to run the award ceremony this year is each of us, Tim, Kim, myself, and Mary's going to go first, are going to take a turn and just talk a little bit about what Master Gardeners mean to us and to Extension in general, and kind of a little of how we're really thankful that you're here. So this is going to be the thankfulness section of that. And people can talk as long as they'd like. And then if I did invite some of the other folks from the office, but they might be busy, but they may pop in. It just depends. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let Mary jump in, and she's going to talk a little bit about what Master Gardeners mean to Extension and to her.
Good morning, everybody. It feels kind of strange being on this end of the computer. Lisa, you're doing great so far. Thank you. I do miss the Bethesda. I do miss us getting together in the Bethesda Senior Center. I miss the fried chicken too. Okay. You know, you just got to know when we get together, we do normally eat. So I look forward to next time, us next year, being able to really be in each other's presence. Lisa said, as she said, she wanted to mention to you what Master Gardeners mean to me. And I think you know what how Extension feels about Master Gardeners. So I'm going to focus my thoughts on how I have felt throughout the 2020 time period, because it's been very different. I do want to say that, as you know, 2020 has been, even into 2021, it has been a very challenging time, very challenging. And I know some people in some areas of work have been able to sort of sit back and relax and, you know, not have to do a whole lot. And that it was not the case with our Extension office or other Extension offices that I'm aware of. So it has really been a challenging year. And I just want to say, if you think that we've been like, you know, enjoying, you know, coffee at 10 and a nap at 3, that hasn't been the case. And that is because of the department that we're in has really tried to serve the community. And there have been oftentimes when we've needed to help with things like with elections or things with food distribution. And so it has been a crazy year in terms of defining our work. But the reason I mentioned that is because I wanted you to know how grateful I am that you did the work of the Master Gardeners. You were out there, boots on the ground, really making a difference in the community in a way that was difficult for us, given the guidelines that we had. I mean, it really was. I really felt a sense of strength and support coming from you all as Master Gardeners. So what do you mean to me? You've always meant the world to me. But having gone through a year where we just felt like we were kind of barely hanging on, pushing through, you know, it has warmed my heart to see what you all have done. And you've just, like I said, pushed through and made a difference in your communities. I know many of you have actually tried to get volunteer hours by just helping within your neighborhood when it wasn't safe to go anywhere else. And that really is something that I think we should continue. It's just great for people to know. Our neighbors need to know that, you know, we're Master Gardeners, you're Master Gardeners, and the things that you can do to help them with their gardening and their environmental awareness. So I am grateful for that. I think you probably, well, I know Lisa did some training on people doing, on you all doing the video chats, the Zoom. That was a way that you were functioning in a whole different way. So the world was pivoting, as they say, but you pivoted too, and you found ways to actually get the word out about gardening and about environmental issues and just all kinds of extension related things. So I am grateful for that. And again, I really, you probably didn't see emails from me. We were very, very busy, but the emails that I would have sent or thought about sending were just being thankful for you still being out there doing community garden work. And I mean, goodness, it's just been amazing what all you have done. And I know we'll hear today of many of the things that you've done. But in my heart of hearts, I am so grateful for you. You all have an amazing Master Gardener Association as well. So it's just like people were just, all of you all just came out of the woodwork to make happen what might not have happened at all, given what was going on with COVID. So anyway, I won't go on and belabor that fact, but I really do want to share with you how much we care about you as Extension, how many times in the hall we might take 2 seconds and go, oh, wow, did you see what they did this time? It was on your email. So I've been amazingly impressed with what all you do. And I don't know what we would do without you. I really don't. And I don't ever want to find out. So thank you so much. I told you I'd be brief, so I will turf it to Tim next, I guess. Or Lisa, you want to take the wheel here?
All right. I just want to say, I reiterate what Mary just said about how important you all are to us and the work that you have done. I know this has been the past year and a half has been extremely difficult and challenging with the COVID, which from what I could based on history and stuff, is probably the most difficult crisis this country's faced since the Second World War, and that was a long time ago. But everybody has risen to the challenge. I know Master Gardeners, y'all have all risen. You've gone and done programs. You have entered your hours, and we had a pretty good report from last year, despite of the COVID situation. I don't know how I could do my job as an extension agent without all of you. You're an extension of what we do. You represent us. You do all sorts of creative things in the community, from giving presentations to working with community gardens to exhibits at the farmers market. Before COVID, of course, we hope to do that again next year, and all the other timeless and tireless work that y'all put in. It in a way, as an agent, it makes me feel so much better to come in here and know I have this support. And I'm just really good to have that. And I just can't express enough of my gratitude that I have toward all of you. And hopefully once the COVID situation gets better and we can start having face-to-face, we can go back to having our monthly meetings. We can have this in Bethesda next year and a bunch of other things. So keep your fingers crossed. Also, the people that help make my job here in the office, Mary's been a fantastic director for the past 4.5, about 4.5. Been there
5 days, 20 seconds. No.
And I don't know, she just has worked tireless, just really has done a fantastic job. We've been blessed to have her. Kim has been doing the Teacher's Master Gardener and other youth programs. She's done a fantastic job. I'm looking forward to seeing how this program turns out this June. It's going to be some online stuff. Lisa, I really appreciate all the work you've done putting programs like this together. You've done a fantastic job and answering emails. Lisa has been a real big help, because I get a lot of emails with questions, and she's taken charge and is providing them very informative answers. So thank you, Lisa, for everything. So just in a nutshell, I want to say thank all of you for everything, Master Gardeners and staff. It just makes this job so enjoyable. Mm-hmm. So who's next?
Kim's next.
Yeah. All right, Kim.
I am so thankful for y'all. And not being able to see you face to face has been very difficult for me. I realized that how much last week I got to meet Karen for a little bit, and we just what was going to be an hour lunch turned into a 2.5-hour lunch, and we just enjoyed talking about plants. It's just getting out there and really talking about gardening and those things that we miss. So I miss seeing y'all for that. And I appreciate so much the creativity that you've shown in what you have done this past year. I know a lot of you haven't necessarily been comfortable with Zoom, but you've gone out and done it. I've had for the library, several of you have done videos to send into the library so they can show for their garden theme programs. So I love the creativity that you've shown. And I'm really excited to get back, hopefully over the next few months, with everything opening up, that, we can start seeing each other face to face again, because I miss you. So thank you so much for everything you do.
My turn. I just want to say how much I've missed seeing everybody. I can see your faces. So thankful for Zoom in that, but what I miss most is seeing everybody in person. So all of the events that we would have done that we couldn't do, getting to talk with you, getting to work with you, the master gardeners that were in the office helping out all the time. You don't realize how much you really miss somebody until you just don't see them that often. I mean, some of you guys were coming in weekly. And so you're just like a coworker, and just like I miss my coworkers, I miss seeing y'all too. And, you're a part of my life, and I consider many of you my friends. And that's really important to me. And I've missed seeing you and talking to you and hearing about your families, listening to what you guys are up to volunteer wise. I mean, yeah, I can go peek in MG log and see what you guys are doing, but that's no substitute for actually having a conversation with somebody. And, COVID's been so hard on all of us because we've had to get so inventive with what we do and how we do it. But it's pushed us to come up with some really fantastic ideas. We've figured out how to keep giving presentations. I know, it had been mentioned that some of you aren't comfortable with Zoom, but I'm sure you're a lot more comfortable now. At least you can do it, and it's just not scary anymore. So it's dragged some of us into the technology world that, maybe didn't want to, but now, you definitely can do it. Maybe you even like it because now you're using it to talk with your families and all of that. So, my hope for 2021, and we're not quite halfway there, but we're getting there, is that, maybe by the end of this year, we'll be hopefully crossing both my fingers, both sets of fingers, that we'll be closer to normal, and that, we can get back to doing what we did best, which was in-person events, and we can see you guys in the office again, and just, have you back in our lives. That I don't know if words can convey what I feel and all of that, but we all really miss you guys and being able to interact with you in person versus just online like we're doing now. We miss the potluck dinners. I know Gwinnett County Master Gardeners is going to start doing their events in person later this year. I don't think they're bringing the food back for a bit, but hey, at least it's going to be in person, and that's a step in the right direction. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get back to those yummy potluck dinners. And like Mary said, we missed the chicken, the chicken and the cake and all the other good stuff that we've done in the past for this event. So, maybe we can all go have KFC after this is all said and done to kind of celebrate. But this is a celebration of you guys and all your hard work and everything that you pour into it, your heart and soul. To be a master gardener, you have to love to volunteer, and you have to love to share that knowledge that you have. And that's a very special thing. And we all just love you so much. And with that, I think I probably talked enough. So I'm going to start my screen share, and then we will start to do the presentation. All right. And I probably should have started it a while back, but my brain is still readjusting, so you'll have to forgive me. Okay, so the virtual 2020 awards. So this is for last year. Everything that you guys did, all the great stuff. And we already did the greetings, and we already talked about all the good things that we love you for. And the first part we're going to talk about is the hours of service. So these are going to be the folks that put in a whole lot of hours. So you'll notice that there's some segments missing. Right now, we only had people that did 100 hour, 200 hour, 300 and 500, which is amazing in itself, given the challenges that we had. But yeah, you guys have done a bang up job. We're going to do after that the special awards. And those are awards that Master Gardeners have excelled in one way or another. These are some oldie but goodies, and then also some new ones that we came up with. Then we'll do some Teacher Master Gardener and School Garden Awards, and Kim will talk about that. I'll be talking about the hours of service. And then Tim will talk about the Class of 2020 Certification Awards, and he will also talk about the Years of Service Awards. So again, just a quick thank you for everybody and everything that you've done. So we'll start out with the 100-hour Excellence Award for volunteering. And this year, the people that made it, and these are folks that worked anywhere from 100 hours all the way up to 199.5 hours. So we have Susan Kosenka. Thank you so much. And Susan Barlamoff. Thank you. Betsy Farmer. Thank you so much. Martha Whitman, thank you. Beth, and I always bungle your name, Archiga. Thank you so much. Linda Bolton, thank you for your service. We appreciate that. Leslie Barnes, thank you so much for your service. Becky Woolery, thank you. Marilyn Whitmer, thank you so much. Wendy, Lorilla, thank you so much. Barbara Phillips, thank you. Amber Malloy, thank you so much. Karen McGinty, thank you. Kathleen Keys, thank you so much. Leanne Penman, thank you for the service that you've given us. Shannon Pable, thank you. Marianne Mayer, thank you so much. Peggy Moss, thank you for your service. Tanya DeLozer, thank you so much. Mim Harris, thank you for your service. Diane Krish, thank you so much for your service. Jack Bolton, thank you. And now we're to the 200-hour Excellence Award for volunteering. So these folks volunteered anywhere from 200 hours up to 299.5 hours during 2020. Joyce Teal, thank you so much. Linda Pollock, thank you so much. Kathy Hartman, thank you for your service.
It shouldn't be very long. I don't know, honey. I can go in the other room. I'll go in
Tim
the other.
Mullen, thank you for your service. Just a reminder, everybody, if you can please mute yourself. Wes Nettleton, thank you for your service. Richard Kennedy, thank you for your service. Janet Litzinger, thank you for your service. And now we're to the 300-hour Excellence Award for volunteering. And these are folks that volunteered 300 hours up to 399.5 hours. Shirley Baum, thank you. And that was pretty short. We didn't have any 400-hour folks, so we did have, I believe, one 500-hour person. So we have, this is someone who volunteered 500 hours up to 599.5 hours. And that's Jackie Daniel, which is a tremendous amount of hours, especially for the crazy year that we had. Thank you for your service. All right. Now we are to the special awards. And so Kim is going to do this section and the next one, and she'll talk about what the special awards are and then tell a little bit about each person and why they got that particular award. Take it away, Kim.
So these awards are not just for hours, but we've come up with a new award this year, and for someone who maybe doesn't have 500 hours, but they are involved in many, many projects, like, 10, 15 projects. So, when you've got that much involvement, it really makes an impact. And so these are master gardeners that have gone above and beyond with maybe not just, maybe with one project, but with many projects too. And so our Project Coordinator of the Year award this year is going to Miss Joyce Teal. She's worked tirelessly at McDaniel Farm Park, and she really works hard at providing an authentic farm experience for the visitors over at McDaniel Farm Park. Joyce is an awesome project leader in her communication skills. She sends out emails that are thorough each week, telling, setting up their meeting dates for her group. She keeps up with the produce that they've donated, and she's just a great leader. And she had actually, I'm going to round up, so she's had 294 volunteer hours this year. So thank you for everything you do, Joyce, and thank you for teaching me how to be a wonderful project leader. So our next award is the Special Master Gardener Extension Volunteer of the Year Award, and that goes to Miss Karen McGinty. Thank you. She has continued to do the monthly reporting for the Master Gardener volunteer hours for Gwinnett County, and she also still monitors MG log. She has to notify Master Gardeners if they've maybe put something into the wrong project. She also helps us in pulling other reports. So thank you so much for everything you do all year long, Karen. And Karen had 128 hours this year. And so this is a new award, the Superstar Award, for the high number of volunteer hours over multiple projects. And the first, we've got two, and the first one's awarded to Linda Pollock. And as you know, she's the president of the association. And she's also just involved in everything, though, in the Master Gardener tour, the Gwinnett County Master Gardener Association. She sends out the meeting notices. She does the plant sale. So, but she's also involved in 13 projects in all. And she had over 287 hours of volunteer work this year. Thank you so much, Linda. Sorry. Light goes off automatically in this room. And apparently it's not very sensitive, but so, and our next Superstar Award for her high number of volunteer hours over multiple projects is Miss Shirley Baum. And she has done a lot with vines, continues to do a lot of maintenance and addition of plant ID tags. She does education through media. She was involved also in the Gwinnett County Master Gardener Association tour and plant sale. She was involved in the Georgia Pollinator Census, and has provided us with additional office support and planning and organizational support. and has helped out with the weed and feeds. And her total hours were 317 hours. This next award is the Hero Award for her project leadership dedication over multiple projects. And it's awarded to Jackie Daniel. She does a lot of work with her church, and she's involved with the Sumac Dirt Buddies, which is her church garden. They did a whole new renovation that she was very involved in. And Jackie has done tremendous work over at the Southeast Gwinnett Co-op Victory Garden. They don't, you know, it's thousands of pounds of fresh produce donated to the food banks. And she had over almost 536 volunteer hours this year. Our next award is the most innovative award for the creation of a public and private partnership demo garden at the Slow Pour Brewery. And he's got this award for seeking out new and different project opportunities and helping to create an award-winning garden in it with a solid public and private partnership. And he also helps a lot at other projects. So over at Slow Pour Brewery, he had over 237 or almost 237 hours, and he participated in the pollinator census and actually mentoring interns and other planning and organizational support. And he had a total of almost 259 hours in volunteer work. And so this next award is Community Crops Award for his dedication to the Snellville Community Garden and Community Garden Coalition. He volunteers tirelessly to include planning the plant sale at the Snellville Community Garden, securing grants, and for helping keep everything successful, as well as being subject to a lot of newspaper articles that he forwards to us that I love getting and reading. You know, I have a special appreciation. He gave a special donation for school gardens this year, and we were able to supply 13 schools with those donations. And he also helped at the Gwinnett County Master Gardener Association's plant sale, and has done some speaking engagements. And he's had over 225 hours of volunteer hours this year. And the next award is the Team Impact Award for the Vines Demonstration Garden. It's got the highest numbers for any projects in 2020. And the over 50 hours at the garden are Janet Lutzinger, Richard Kennedy, Shirley Baum, Susan Kosenka, and Jeff Hicks. Thank you so much for everything you put into Vines. An honorable mention for other volunteers are Amber Malloy, Peggy Moss, Deborah Duello, Catherine Foxwell, Michelle Fresha, Carlos Banda, Mary Lockett, William Smith, Jackie Kujwa, Jackie Corrier, Becky Woolery, Cindy Toledo, Rochelle Abdul Malik, Lucy Smith, Bob Wilgus, which, you know, as y'all might know, he passed away this past year, and Clistonio Graves and Becky Panetta. The total hours for them was 1,066 hours in 2020. And now we're going to change over, and I'll talk a little bit about the school garden awards. It takes a lot to be a Master Gardener project leader for a school, because you have to work so closely with the schools. And this year they have, you know, the county has left a lot up to the administrators at each school. And some schools won't even let you step on their property, while others will let you come outdoors and work with the students. And I've had a couple meetings indoors just with the teachers, you know, in a classroom that it doesn't have students. I have been lucky enough this year to be able to be out with the schools and planting outside and having the teachers Zoom with me with their students inside. So it's very rewarding, and to hear the giggles and see the smiles on the kids' faces has been wonderful. And so these next awards, there's so much satisfaction is growing our youngest gardeners in our community. So the 2020 Outstanding New Garden Project is for the Berkeley Lake Elementary School Pollinator Garden. And this school actually had wonderful edible gardens and some pollinator gardens. And the previous year, school year, they tore out all those gardens and had to use them to expand the school for a whole year. They were working on construction on that expansion. And so when the school got ready last year to start the garden, they contacted me in October, and Tim put it out there as a volunteer opportunity, and Barbara Geyer and Margaret Bergeron responded in just a couple of days, and I introduced them with the school coordinator, which happens to be the science STEM teacher, and they got with her in a couple of weeks. They did up a plan, they got the project entered, and I just really appreciate how quickly they were able to put all this together. They actually got they did up a beautiful garden plan for 3 sections. It doesn't have edibles anymore, but it's going to be an outstanding pollinator garden. I think not just for the school, but for the whole Berkeley Lake community. And I know they would want you to come by and visit it maybe toward the end of summer as things are starting to bloom out. They got some things planted last year in November and had a work day. And this year they I can't tell you how many plants are in the garden, but it's hundreds of native pollinator plants. And I know they're doing it in sections, but they did get 2 grants this year that I know of. It might have been more. So thank you so much, ladies, for getting that garden going and keeping it as an ongoing project. I know it'll be ready for the next pollinator census, and I'm really excited for that. Our next award is the 2020 School Garden Champion, and that goes to Miss Kathy Hartman for her work over at Minor Elementary Garden. And Kathy does everything. She sources any and all supplies for the garden. She gets funding. And that's including applying for grants. She plants edibles in the raised bed. She plants pollinator plants. She plants in containers. She makes sure everything gets watered and pruned and weeded. She harvests, and whatever the school doesn't use, she makes sure that extra harvest goes to food banks. And she prepares signage for the garden. It's a really large school garden, and it's a lot, but they've managed to put some really cool crops in. They've planted wheat, sweet potatoes, butternut squash, loofah, fennel, and okra. And I know it gives not only the students, but the teachers some hope when they see that garden. And Kathy had over 214 hours at the school. And I really appreciate everything that you do, Kathy. And I also have another School Garden Champion Award for the Teacher Master Gardener Program. And that goes to Miss Marilyn Whitmer for her garden over at the Petry Elementary School Garden. Marilyn's another one that she gives all her heart to her school garden. She's very innovative and creative. She created the Harry Potter garden over there. She's starting with plans to do a Disney garden for the younger students. She wants to get involved and has started researching and putting in herbs to teach other values of herbs other than culinary, maybe what the Native Americans use the herbs for. and she's very thorough on her research. And she has also gotten donations and gotten 3 grants this past year. So thank you so much, Marilyn, for all your work at Petry. And our next award is for the most engaging school garden. And this is for the Lovin Elementary School Garden, and it goes to Deputy James Wilson. And I was lucky enough to go out there a few weeks ago for their last environmental club meeting. Not all schools were able to do extracurricular activities, but Lovin was able to. And I could just tell that there was over 20 students there, and they broke them up into teams, and they went and did their own little jobs. You know, they either went and picked eggs out of the, from the chickens. They cleaned up and cared for the chickens. One group with me, we planted tomatoes, and they set up a special trellising system for the tomatoes. They planted peppers. They transplanted some of the loofah seeds that had come up outside of the beds. And I could see that those children were really at home in the garden. They actually, all of the groups got to rotate into the strawberry patch and pick strawberries to take home a bag to their homes. So thank you so much, Deputy Wilson, for working with their wonderful STEM teacher over there. And the next school award, I've got 2 of these, and these are the last school awards. And that is for the 2020 Best Sustained School Garden. And this goes to Joseph Rogers over at the Graves Elementary Learning Garden. Every time I go over there, it's immaculate. I don't know how he does it with an edible garden, but I visit this garden probably more than any other because it's located near my grandson's house. And I went by just this past week to leave some seeds, and he, the beds are all edged, and he's got some herbs planted. I believe I saw squash coming up, and he's starting to plant several other beds. They've got some other donated plants this year, just this past week, that they're putting in. So thank you for all you're doing. And he does an amazing job with what he teaches at the garden too. And mainly he teaches the life cycle of the plants and also soil health. So very important in the school garden to make sure the kids are actually learning from the garden. And the last Best Sustained School Garden Award goes to Jackie Petry for the Norcross Elementary School Garden. And for these 2 school gardens, I'm always telling people that want to start a school garden, or the educators that want to start school gardens, don't start too big. You want to have it large enough to have a variety of plants, or plant enough plants for tasting. But, during COVID, some of the larger gardens just couldn't keep up. But these 2 gardens are really a perfect size. Joe's garden has about 11 beds in it, and Jackie's garden has 6 beds in it. And she smartly uses the Norcross Discovery as a collaborator, and they keep up with one of the beds that's a pollinator garden. And when I first saw this school garden, maybe about 5 years ago, the Cotonia aster was like either half dead or wildly growing. But when I went and paid a site visit last week, the garden was very neat. The beds have been redone. They took out that Cotonia aster and put in a retaining wall. So she's done an amazing job there. They also have a composting setup and rain barrels at their garden. So, and I do want to thank also many others that have helped or continued to garden during COVID. And so honorable mentions go to Bay Creek Middle School. Deputy Wilson also has that school, and Brookwood High School, Miss Carrie Livers and Cole Hembry. Couch Middle School, Alexia Sandow, and Ferguson Elementary, Victor Ruiz. He's also renovating the garden there. Hopkins Elementary, Frida Stewart for her work at beautification in their gardens. Mason Elementary, Nicole Lohr, she got really involved with Farm to School last year. Pickneyville Middle School, Mim Harris, and Summer Hour Middle School, Tixie Fowler. And somebody I didn't put on here, and I should have, but it's Margaret Mollison. She has helped out a lot sourcing seeds. She got some vegetable seeds that were donated to use specifically on the school gardens, and they're all gone. And she also got native pollinator plants that I've given out to the gardens, and it's been a learning experience because she was so wonderful and put all the planting instructions down too. This needs to be stratified, cold, moist. This needs to, doesn't require stratification. So I really appreciate that, Margaret. And anyone, I know I've missed other people that have helped with the school gardens, but this is a great way with the school gardens to pass a gardening legacy on to our youth. And it takes a lot of work, but is so much needed and appreciated. Thank you. And Tim is now going to announce our class of 2020 Master Gardener certifications.
Unmute myself. These are the people who completed the 2020 Master Gardener class. That's when the pandemic hit. So at the very end, so the last 3 classes were done online, and it's been a real challenge, but I'll go ahead. The people have completed their volunteer hours. Marilyn Farnsworth is the first one. As some of you know, she used to be our office manager. She's glad to have her involved. Next, Diane Krish, Donna Loudermilk, Cole Hembry, Nicole Lohr, Carrie Settles Livers. All right, so congratulations on that, on completing your hours and becoming full-fledged Master Gardeners. Again, we're in the process of getting applications for our 2021 class, which will be this fall. So please, we need more applicants. So y'all, anybody interested, send them my way. Okay, the next one are years of service. For 5 years of service, Robert Ayer, Bonnie Fox, Deborah Hoax, Virginia Hothling, Wendy Larilla, Gregory Malden, Margaret Mollison, Kathy Pittman, Jean Shapiro, Ann Thompson, Marion Troden, Jean Wallace. All right, these are for people who have been Master Gardeners for 10 years, 10 years of service. Shirley Baum, Ty Cox, Deborah Duello, Suzanne Franklin, Carol Hassell, Jody Hayes, Maggie Howes, Bob Blau, Eileen Megason, Jean Patterson, Tricia Serafini, Amelia Skelton, BJ Tracy. All right, these are those who have been Master Gardeners for 15 years. This is 15 years of service. Lori Prosser, Joyce Teal, 20 years of service. They have been Master Gardener, completed the program 20 years ago and have been serving us for 20 years. Next. Jane Montgomery, Shannon Pable.
And that's it.
Well,
We didn't have any more than that this year.
Yeah. Well, next year, well, good. Next year I'll be at 20 years. I completed mine in 2002 when I was a graduate student in Athens back then. It's hard to believe how fast time flies. It's just unreal. Again, this has just been a joy to y'all are all a joy to us. I'm just so impressed with the work that you've done and the hours and all the commitment to being part of our organization and being an outreach program. We've got probably the best group in the state, And so that you know that I'm here. If you ever need to contact me, call me or anything, I'm here to listen to. If you have any concerns, issues, or just like you may have a new project you want to talk to me about, you feel free to contact me. So Lisa, turn it back over to you.
Okay.
We clap,
so-
Lisa. How can we clap? Yay!
Yay for the Master Gardeners. Yeah.
Everybody, yay! Job well done.
Yes. Does anybody have any questions? Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. We tried to kind of double check. I know last year, I think I missed a couple people. Yeah, Kate, you had a question? You can unmute yourself. Did you have a question? No? Okay. I'm going to stop sharing here. All right. Anybody else have a question or concern, or did I miss? Yes.
The class of 2020.
You're cutting out. I can't hear you. Maybe try typing it in the chat box.
Looks like her microphone's muted.
Yeah, I tried to unmute it. I'm not sure what's going on. It was cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have questions, Kate, you can email me or something later. Linda, you had a question?
I'm wondering if Kate's question might be, because I know she and Amber and several others of that 2020 class completed more than their 50 hours, and they may have been recognized earlier. Is that why they weren't recognized today?
For
the class of 2020, having completed
yeah, they
their
were
hours.
recognized earlier. They
Okay.
should have been recognized the last presentation that we had in October. So when they were recognized there,
Okay. I just wondered, I'm guessing, I don't know, but
yeah, things were a little wacky. I mean, we were very, very hopeful that the pandemic wasn't going to be as serious as it turned out to be. And so we kept punting the awards ceremony, hoping and crossing our
Right.
fingers that we would be able to have it in person. And when the writing was on the wall, we just decided, we can't wait anymore. Let's just do a virtual one so that we can
Right.
recognize you guys and get all the accomplishments out there. So by that time, several of them had already gotten their hours, and it didn't make any sense to, make them
Right.
wait until the following time.
that
So
was-
we
that
went ahead
was
and
her-
recognized them then.
yeah, that was her question. Was that all the class of 2020?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought we had done some earlier in the year.
We
So
have,
thank you for
yes.
that.
And
Yeah.
if you want to watch, that should still be up there. You can watch that if you want to relive the fine memories of that presentation. Did anybody else have any questions or anything? Crystal asked, where will that be uploaded? And there is a YouTube a channel that I think it's Metro Master Gardeners or something like that, Tim. That's where the other one is uploaded. And as soon as this processes and I get an opportunity to upload it there, I will then send out the link for everybody so that they can watch it there. So it will be available then. I don't know exactly if it'll be today or tomorrow, but it should be up by the end of this week. Anybody else?
Could I just say that we appreciate all of the support of the office staff that we have as Master Gardeners. I think it's impressive that everybody that works with the Master Gardener program has actually gone through the program and is a certified Master Gardener. I don't think that's necessarily true in every county from what I understand. You all understand, what we do to go through and get our hours, especially that first year, because it seems like it's such a challenge and all of a sudden you've got, oh, I did 100 hours. Okay. But because once you start, it's very addictive. But we, as the Master Gardeners who are here to help you, appreciate all of the support that you give us and the quick turnaround for questions and the answers that you give us. And you try to be as positive and supportive as you can possibly be. That we greatly appreciate you as well.
Thank you. That's great.
Thank you.
Always so nice, Linda.
Some of you may be wondering when certificates will go out. I have to create some of the special ones. So it will be sometime in the next couple weeks to a month. So we'll coordinate to get those printed up, and then those will just be sent out via mail. So kind of like last time, we printed everything up and then that all got sent out after the fact. So you will get a paper certificate to commemorate everything that you've done, and that we fully appreciate what you've done and all the efforts. And I know we mentioned that early on, but I just wanted to kind of reiterate that and say that we truly, from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate all the service that you guys have put into this program and making it as wonderful as it is. And, you know, we wouldn't know what to do without you.
You make us blossom.
Yes, yes. And yes, Kim mentioned Bob Wilgus had passed away, and, you know, we've lost a few master gardeners over the past year and a half or so. And that's very sad for us. You know, a lot of us have basically become your friends, and you know, it hurts us when we hear of things like that. And but we all love you, and you mean the world to us, and we're always here. You know, if you need us or just want to talk, we're here for you. So with that, that's pretty much it. I think we're just about to noon. So any last opportunities for questions that anybody might have for any of the staff on here? Everybody good?
Lisa, thanks for a great job. Love the
Thank you
PowerPoint.
for all you
Great.
do.
Thank you,
Yes.
Lisa.
Okay,
Good job.
wonderful. All right, well, I guess we are done. So everybody can go out and get a KFC lunch to celebrate. And
Virtually or not.
yes, exactly. Again, this will get uploaded here before the end of the week, and I'll send a notice out with the link. So thank you again, everybody, and you all are awesome. Have a good afternoon.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.